Hey, welcome to Geeky Faucets. I'm Amy Dale.
And I'm Christine Lucas-Savage.
And this is episode 66, and we're back with our guest, Matt Martin.
Howdy.
And he's here to show us again some more board game excitement. And this one I'm super excited about because this is co-op games, and I recently discovered them. I think at Christmas I got Forbidden Desert for Christmas, and this one is co-op and variable board. And it is so much fun. And I just discovered that, I was telling Christine, like, co-op board games are the best because, you have those people who don't really want to play board games because they're like, I'm not really good at board games, and, sort of like nervous about playing board games because they don't feel like they're good at them. This is perfect because you all work together.
Also, for
And
those
there's
of
not
us
pressure.
who really like to win and then don't win are sore losers. I don't want to say who that would be, but...
Yeah, this one I got to Flashpoint, which is like you're firemen and you're trying to get all the people out of the house alive. And then the other one was like you're trying to get out of the desert before you get, die of thirst and stuff. And that one's, the Forbidden Desert's my favorite so far. This one though, with the kids, is the best. Castle Panic. It's a co-op game and it's perfect for like whole families to play together. And I'm a huge fan of this one. And apparently it has an expansion pack, which we were talking about. Mm-hmm. So you can tell us about expansion packs a little bit. Because I was asking, does that change the rules or how does that work?
Yeah, so for a lot of board game expansions, they'll come with some additional pieces that allow you to play either like alternate scenarios or it'll have some change on the rules because otherwise, kind of what's the point? It does depend on the game. If you've ever heard of the game Dixit, Dixit is it's kind of this party game where everybody has a hand of cards, and these cards are paintings. And they're these very bizarre, interesting, intricate paintings. And so it'll be one person's turn, and they're going to try and come up with a clue that describes their card, right? So they'll say something like excitement, right? And they'll put a card down, and everybody else tries to pick a painting out of their hand that would do that. Shuffle them up, and then people vote. And your goal is to try and get at least one person to vote for yours, but not everybody. Because if everybody votes, you don't get points, and if nobody votes, you get points. And so, the expansions for that are just kind of more paintings. They don't really change the rules so much. Games like Catan, Pandemic, Forbidden Desert, these sorts of expansions will add, new rules in addition. So like the Catan expansions, the basic ones are Seafarers and then Cities and Knights. Seafarers adds ships so you can now go across the water and you have multiple islands.
I think that's really cool. When I saw that in the German book, when I was looking through it, I'm like, holy crap, there's boats in this game? I love boats.
Yeah. That's really fun.
That's really neat.
And then Cities and Knights just takes it to a whole nother level.
Is that a Catan one?
It is.
Cities and Knights?
Yes.
Okay.
And so now you have Knights. There's a fleet of barbarians that comes and pillages the island every so often. So you have to build Knights to protect against it and refine resources and stuff. It makes it a much more complex game. But, at this point, a lot of people have actually kind of, the basic Settlers game has
So for
run its
seasoned
course.
players,
Yes.
it's probably like, yes, we could still play this without getting bored. So that's awesome.
And this one is one I really want to get. This is Pandemic.
Yes, Pandemic is a fantastic game. It's, I think, my favorite co-op game. The premise is that there are 4 diseases ravaging the world, and you are a team of scientists, researchers, medical people trying to basically discover the cures to these diseases before it's too late. And the fun thing about this game is it's cooperative. It's not, haha, I can win if I screw you over. It's, we're all working together as a team. It's a big puzzle solving, and it can be quite challenging. I have actually played this game once where we lost on the first turn. Just because this also employs a bit of variable board setup in the sense that these little cubes represent disease, and where they come out is just determined by the deck, right?
Yes.
You shuffle, and so that changes where the hot spots are each time.
Okay.
And there was just this terrible chain reaction that there was nothing we could do. We took our first turn.
Game night's over. Thanks for coming.
But for the most part, this is a game that tends to come down to the wire. Like it's
You're not sure if you're gonna make
you're
it.
not
till
sure
the
if you're
very
gonna
end.
make it. Yes.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of co-op games is you're trying to beat the game. And I played with my husband when we first got this, and I was like, not sure he's gonna like it because he's super competitive. Like like Christine was talking about, some people are, and like I thought, oh, he's not gonna like this because there's not a winner necessarily. Like you're beating the game, but he loved it.
Right.
It's really fun.
Yeah,
it really is.
There's enough challenge that even for the competitive, you can have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, one danger with co-op games though is if you have a new player who scared, doesn't know how to really contribute, is you need to be respectful of that, right? Like, let them make suggestions, even act on those suggestions, because if you say, oh, well, what if we go here? Like, oh, no, that's a bad idea, we should do this, and we're always doing what I say as the experienced player, that's also not fun.
Right.
And that's
Yeah.
a group dynamic thing, and so that is kind of the one danger of the cooperative game that I found. But I mean, you have that in non-cooperative games too, where, okay, we're playing a game like Catan, it's your first time, and I just stomp you, you're never going to want to play again, right? Like, this is more just a gamer etiquette, being sensitive, I mean, something that I
You're
actually...
just going to have to, like, play the field, you know what I mean? Like, be aware and sensitive of who's around, which is super important, because, people like me would be like, well, fine, you play the game yourself, you a-hole, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I do that to my kids at Castle Panic. I'm like, you should play this and this and this and this, so I probably should not do that.
I just inadvertently called you an a-hole.
No, because I think with kids though, you're like trying to get everybody to get their turn. Okay, do that and then go.
I do that with my kids. I'm like,
probably should not do that.
Yeah, and I mean, like in other games, like I try to be really good about, if it's your first time playing and you have a strategy question, you can ask me and I will answer truthfully. To my detriment.
Right.
I'd much rather you learn how to play and have fun than, haha, I defeated you because you had no idea.
Because you're an idiot.
Because you were new to the game.
Right.
Right.
Yes, totally.
And then what challenge is that for you? You know what I mean?
Right.
Okay, and these we talked about earlier. These don't actually come with the game. I don't know if you can see them, but they are the cutest things
They're
ever.
totally adorable. And here's what they match. What are these?
So those are the cures you're trying to discover.
And that's the one that the game actually comes with.
Right.
So this is extra ones he bought one of his friends bought at what's it called?
BGG Con, the Board Game Geek convention that happens every year down in Dallas.
It sounds really
in the
fun.
fall, Thanksgiving-ish, I think. I don't remember. I've never actually been, much to my great shame. I have a coworker he's the one who got me these, and he's been going every year. And someday I'm gonna make it down there.
Yeah, you should. That would be so fun.
Yeah.
I love little things. Like, anyway.
Okay, so you're trying to stop this 4 diseases, not just one.
Yes.
Okay.
Do we know what the diseases are? Did you find out what they are? Or they're just diseases?
Disease, red, blue.
Yeah.
Black
and yellow.
I mean, there are pictures kind of on the board, and so that look like various bacteria or whatnot, so like it's been theorized that black could be Ebola, maybe, based on the shape and whatnot. But I mean,
but nobody really
it
knows.
doesn't really.
Okay. It's not
important. Yeah.
It'll always be a yellow disease. It'll always be a blue disease.
Yes.
And it doesn't really vary.
And each one kind of has its own region, but it can spread beyond that.
So the red can go into the black area.
Yes.
Okay.
And when that starts happening, things are going.
It's
really,
real not good.
It's really not good. Yeah. And it's cool because in this game, each player is a different character, right? They have a different colored pawn, and they each have a different special ability too, right? And so this is another one of the mechanics called variable player powers, right? So as the dispatcher in this game, Amy is really good at helping people move around, right? Yeah. So she excels at the movement abilities, right? I'm the scientist, I'm really good at discovering the cure. It takes me fewer cards to do so than anybody else. So anybody can discover a cure, right? My character just happens to be better at it. Christina's character, she got the researcher in this one. She's really good at sharing knowledge, right? So cures are discovered by turning in a certain number of cards at a research station on the board. And so to pass cards between characters is actually fairly difficult unless you're the researcher, right? And so she's really good at helping other players get the cards they need to discover the cures, right? And so it's kind of cool because we're not identical, so it's not just so like it actually matters who goes where sometimes.
Yes.
There's another
Can you help each other? And be like, hey, maybe you should go here because of this. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's
Oh,
all.
yeah.
I mean, that's kind of where the
very-
game comes in. Is it's
yeah.
all this discussion. It's like, okay, wow.
That's so the opposite of any game because I'm always like,
I know, right? I'm going to defeat you.
don't look at my cards.
No, but there's like usually a discussion like before every person's turn. Okay, now what if I did this? Like, what dynamic would that have on everybody? And then somebody else will
Right.
chime
pretty
in.
cool.
Or
Yeah.
who has the, I need one of these cards. Who has it?
Yeah.
Or, wow, there's, the red disease is just exploding. Can anybody get over there?
Dude, that is pretty cool.
Yeah,
I
I
really
think
like
that's
that
really-
a lot.
it's
It's,
super
working
fun.
together, which is
Yeah.
kind of cool. That's
Yes, it's pretty great. I love the co-op games. I'm a huge fan. And I think part of it is like when I'm playing like the strategy games or whatever, I always feel like I'm so bad at this.
You're like, I'm not a 4-star
Yeah.
general at all.
But it's much better on these. You feel like you're
That's pretty cool. I'd
Yeah.
like to play one sometime. I've never played one before because I have a nasty competitive streak, and I think I would do well. I don't play Pictionary anymore because of said competitive streak. So
Pictionary is a vicious game.
you don't even know.
Apparently, I had no idea.
I didn't either. You have like me and my favorite roommate in college, dude. We were unbeatable. I talked so much smack. Oh, it's embarrassing to even talk about that, but because it's Pictionary. But anyway, okay. So enough of mine.
So is this your favorite of the co-ops?
I think so. Yeah. No, it's Pandemic is one of the games where if somebody brings it out, I will play.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Is
Like,
this a good place to start?
It is a really good place
So
to
it's
start.
fairly simple to understand rules
Yeah,
and things
no,
like
the
that.
rules are pretty basic. Like it's got a little. Each
Order of
player has
play.
a
Yeah.
3 steps that they do on their turn. And it comes with reference cards for each player, so you can see, hey, here's what all of my possible actions are, right? So it comes with a nice little player aid.
Oh, that's
And
nice.
Well, and I think the thing with these games is once you've played that style of game, like we were saying on the other
Right.
show, like you can then dive into something else easier. Like you already understand the order of play and that each player gets a certain amount of actions and all that kind of stuff, rather than like the rolling the dice and the typical board game kind
Right.
of thing.
And these are also a great place to start. So you can figure out with a bunch of friends too,
Yeah.
right? Where it's not just, now everybody's against each other and we're all trying to figure out the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things I really like about doing board game nights with people is that people will bring games to play and they know those games, and so they can teach them. And so somebody's like, okay, here you do this, and they can demonstrate everything really well. But if you haven't been to one of those nights, or if you're just starting to look to get into board gaming, this is a really fun way to go. Yeah, it is. This is. I don't want to say my favorite game just because I don't know that I have one, or maybe even top 5 would be hard to pick.
It's
Yeah.
probably like when people ask me what my favorite food is, I'm like, I don't know, what day is it? Because it changes day to day. Do you know what I
Right.
mean? But some days maybe you like this one better kind of a thing.
But like I said, if somebody puts Pandemic on the table, I will always play it.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's
so that's
definitely
a-
up
It's
there.
a
Yeah.
good one. Okay.
Yeah, and I just wanted to give a warning because I have noticed I got Forbidden Desert for Christmas and I had never played it. I didn't know anybody who played it. So it was just from the instruction books learning to do it. And so the first time we played it was difficult. It was really hard and it's like a book that you're trying to figure out the directions in, so it felt overwhelming, but if you just give yourself grace for the first time you play, especially. Cause
Yeah,
it's
no,
there's
the
a
concept of
learning
a
curve.
learning game is really great. The first time anybody plays a game, the first time I play a game, rules get missed and mistakes get made, and then you
Yeah.
kind of come back, you're like, oh,
Well, that's how that's supposed to
You know.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it just
Yeah.
takes playing a couple of times, because once you start doing it, you start figuring, oh, okay, these are how these different pieces fit together, and now this makes a lot more sense.
But once you get it, then the gameplay, is obviously smoother and it's a
Right.
lot more fun.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. Patience.
Yes. So thank you guys so much for joining us, and Matt, thanks so much
Yeah,
for coming.
no,
This
it's
was
fun.
super fun, and I'm really excited to get this game.
Yeah.
We need
I'm
to do
excited
and
to play it.
I am.
Sure.
It's gonna be fun. So
Will you
thanks.
come play with us when you
Absolutely.
get it? That'd be awesome.
Yeah, we could go to their game night and play
Totally.
it.
Let us know when the pandemic game night is. We're gonna show up.
It's always there.
Awesome.
So.
That sounds fun. So thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.